Hello, everybody. I'm here to explain to everyone about this FICO score. That we all worship. Everybody, these people worship the FICO. Let me explain something. That FICO score was meant to create greed for the lenders. When you go out and borrow money and get mortgages and car loans and credit cards, when you're basically living off credit, you're making someone else's rich. You know what I mean? And they keep on changing the FICO models to lower your score. The reason why they're doing that, they try to sell this new algorithm to the lenders, saying, "Hey, we got a new scoring model that'll lower people's scores so you can charge more interest." You know what I mean? You're making them lenders rich. When I did some work for a guy who owned a bank, he showed me his multi-million-dollar car collection, and he told me, "You know who paid for that?" I said, "Who?" "All them people got them loans and mortgages and car loans and credit cards. That's who paid for this." So you're making other people rich when you borrow money. You can't build your wealth, basically. Because I know a friend of mine lives with his dad, and I told him, he said, "Man, I ain't got no bills." I said, "Bank that money then." So he's been banking his paycheck, and he's got thousands and thousands of dollars saved up. And I keep on telling him, don't get no mortgage, don't get no car loans, don't get no credit cards. And he don't. He's like almost 60 years old. And he checked his credit. He has a 0 credit score. He has nothing on his nothing. And I told him he needs to freeze his credit report because I told him to put a security freeze on all the reporting agencies, not just the major 3, but there's more than that. If you want the list, just send me a message on this YouTube link, and I'll give you the list. Because all these data breaches out there, there's more than just the 3 major credit bureaus. If people tell you to freeze the major 3 credit bureaus, they don't know. They don't know there's more than just the major 3. Because if someone's got your information and they pull from a big credit bureau, they'll pull from a small one, which is owned by the big company. And if someone's got your identity information, they can still get stuff in your name. So, a lot of companies, they're so greedy, they'll pull from all 3 reports. You know what I mean? Not just one, they pull all 3. That's how greedy they are. If they find one little negative mark, they're not going to give you anything anyway. Even a hard inquiry is considered negative, which I think is a bunch of garbage. That's why I think the whole FICO score thing is nothing but a joke. It was created back in 1989. Before then, the greed wasn't there like it is now. So now when you get car insurance, it's based off your stupid FICO score. Or when you get a job, it's based off your debt. If you have no debt, you have no score. You see what I mean? It's something to make the lenders more rich and the guys who created FICO more rich. More money, more greed. That's why I say the FICO score created greed. Okay? If you just buy cash for a car, buy a repo house real cheap. My friend he buys repo houses for like $10,000 to $15,000, pays cash for them. And he texts my phone like, "I bought another house." I say, "Okay, good." He goes, "Guess what?" I'm like, "What?" "No payments. I paid cash. All I got to pay is taxes on the house, property taxes, insurance." He has no payments. There you go. That's how you do it. And this COVID-19 pandemic, trust me, a few months from now or so, there'll be a housing crash. Because right now it's a seller's market. That's why they want ridiculous prices for these houses. They're selling the houses more than what they're worth. Say the house they're selling is like $200,000, but it's only worth $150,000. You have to pay that negative balance to move in. You have to pay that extra because they said it's a high demand for houses right now, but a short supply, like a little list. So you have to pay extra for the house. And plus, the mortgage rates are down to 3%, 4%, or whatever. They keep on lowering it during the pandemic. They'll figure people buy a house when they're not working. So I'll never get a 30-year mortgage. I'll never own a house. Because you actually never own a house because of property taxes. If you don't pay them taxes, that house is not yours. So you actually would never own a house anyway. I don't care what anybody says. But yeah, I would freeze all them reports, them reporting agencies, not just the major 3. They'll send you a PIN number in the mail, just throw it in the shredder. So don't throw it in the garbage, just shred it up real good or burn it or something. Throw them in the garbage. It takes like 30 days. I think there's I can't remember how many there were. There was With the major three, there might be about 20 of them. 20 of them you got to freeze with the major three. There's actually 4 majors. And Novus is a major one they use for, companies use that. It bleeds off Equifax. It's a Novus, TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. You need to freeze them. And the others I have on the list will pop up on your screen here off and on. You see that list? Some you got to mail. Freeze all those companies. You can't freeze the last one because they don't do security freezes, which I think is a bunch of crap, because that company had a data breach, and that company stores your banking info. Early warning, they store your banking info because they have a data breach. Someone's got your account number and routing number and your balance. That's what that company does. When these banks pull that report, it shows your account numbers you have, active and inactive. But the active ones will have a balance on there, the account number and routing number, and your information, your social, date of birth, addresses, and all that, place of employment, and all that. Because your information is not safe anymore. I know a lot of people don't think, well, nothing will ever happen to me. Well, down the road, 20 years from now, or 10 years from now, or 30 years from now, then it becomes your problem. When John Doe got your information on the dark web for $3, your entire identity information for $3 on the dark web from Equifax data breach, because that's what happened. Because all the people unknown that was in that data breach, they called me up and said, hey, my information's on the dark web. So that tells you right there, all that information. Them hackers, them Chinese hackers took from Equifax, they put that information on the dark web and selling it. That's how they're making money. I know you say $3 ain't a lot of money. If you take 150 million times $3, that is a big chunk of money. And that information don't go away in the dark web. When someone buys your information, it stays on there, and they'll sell to another person, another person. There's your identity information floating all over. And if you don't have your credit reports frozen, it's like going on vacation, leaving your doors and windows up in your house. When you come back next week, everything's cleared out of your house. What happened? You didn't lock your house. Everything's stolen. Same way with your identity. If you don't freeze them report agencies, they can care less about you. Trust me. You're nothing but a profit to them. They make money selling your information to other data brokers. You're nothing but a profit. You're trash to them. They don't care about you. You know, I was in that Equifax data breach. I spent thousands of dollars. And I sent Equifax a bill months ago, and they never paid it. They never even responded. You know what I mean? I call them on the phone. They're like cussing me out like, you're nothing. You're nobody. We're not held accountable for, they said, you're not held liable for data breaches, they said. They're not held accountable. So, you can't sue them, basically. So, basically, that little mishap that happened back in 2017, they left a hole in their database open for 65 days before they noticed. Before they even noticed it. Okay? And, they didn't care, you know what I mean? And then they're going to court last year trying to get it thrown out, saying nothing happened, nobody's information was compromised or used. That's a bunch of baloney. That's why ain't nobody getting paid on it, you know what I mean? I got a check in the mail yesterday for $65 and some change from a early warning because they had a data breach like 6 years ago, and my information was compromised. I forgot all about it. Got a check for $65. So I'm glad it was, I was surprised it was that much. I figured it'd be like $3 or $2, you know what I mean? Because you don't get much out of them data breach or class action. You know what I mean? The lawyers get millions while you get a bag of peanuts, get a couple of dollars having your information stolen. And that information stolen never goes away. It's not like it stops. That information's out there. Your identity information on the dark web, it don't go away. It don't disappear. It stays there. So, yeah. So there's $3, you know what I mean? They offer free credit monitoring, but there's much more than that. You know what I mean? Much more than that. Because they can file false tax return in your name. They get ID in your name with their picture. File unemployment in your name, which is going on here pretty much lately. I hear people saying someone got unemployment in their name. And stuff like that. So it's not just credit. It's like everything. Everything. When they get pulled over by the police, they can give them your information. They can commit a crime, give them your information, go to jail with your information. They don't show up for court. You get pulled over, then you go to jail. So it's a big mess. And like I said, it's a lot more than just credit. It's everything. False tax returns. They can get a job, work at a job with your ID. They can get a Social Security made up with your... The way technology is, they can get a Social Security made up with your name on it. You know what I mean? And they can have your ID, your identity. I mean, I read up on it. It's not just people think they can get credit in your name. It's much more than that. They can get anything in your name, even a job. an ID with their picture with your information on it. So yeah, there's a lot more to than that. John Doe can file a false tax return in your name. So yeah, that whole FICO score is nothing but trash. So, and if you read the Bible, it says the borrower is slave to the lender. So you should be getting money anyway. Because when you borrow money, when you pay that money every month for 30 years, 15 years, 10 years on a new car payment now, because now that's what they're offering on new cars, 10 years. Because they're like $100,000 for a car. They want to make it like a house payment. Where your car payment's $900 a month for 10 years. And they go down in value like a rock. That's where Chevrolet gets that. You know, you buy a 2020 car, you look at the sticker in the door, inside the door handle, it was made in 2019. And you see you drive it off the lot, you lose every bit of $10,000 or so off the value. And you try to sell it back to them the next day, they'll offer you less than what you paid for. I just only had it for a day, but it's used now, you drove it off the lot. So yeah, and there's a big markup on them cars. I did some work for a dealership. They had trucks come in. There's like a 50% markup on them cars. So if you paid $100,000 for that car, I mean they bought it from General Motors for $50,000. You know what I mean? Or you pay $30,000 for it, they probably got it for like $50,000 or $60,000. Yeah, there's a big, huge markup on cars. They're made so cheap nowadays. I will never buy a new car, never. Yep, because they put all them sensors in them. Honda says something about people complaining about the new Honda, saying the car's braking on its own. The automatic braking's acting up. You're driving down the road, the brakes lock up, cause an accident. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. They put all that technology in there. When it goes out, it's thousands and thousands of dollars to fix it. My friend works at a body shop. He told me they put the sensors in the front. He said you got to replace the whole bumper and everything. It's like $4,000. So, is it worth it for a new car? No. Nope. It's a big money wrecker. All the technology and all them cheap Chinese parts they put in there, they're focusing on volume and price. How cheap can we make them? And the quality goes downhill on all them cars. I don't care. Toyota, BMW, all them. Mercedes, the quality every year goes downhill. That's why the insurance is so high on them cars, because when they wreck, they're made so cheap, they're considered totaled. That's why the insurance is high. You wreck a good wreck will total that car. Even if somebody hits you at 25, 30 miles an hour, that whole back end smashes up, the insurance companies won't pay for it. They just total the car out because the car's cheap, depreciation goes down like bad, and they'd rather just pay the car off. That's why they make you get gap insurance. It's so bad right now, they force you to get gap insurance because you owe more than what the car's worth, and the bank's not going to pay that, you know what I mean, all that negative equity. That's why you have to buy that gap insurance. You know what I mean? You have a wreck, your car's worth $9,000, but you owe $15,000. The bank will pay the $9,000 and you're stuck paying the $6,000. That's how that works. So yeah, that's how it is. Negative equity, but yeah. So if you got any questions or comments, just comment below. If you need all them any information about getting all that stuff frozen. And yeah, don't mess around with credit. You know, them banks, they got 50-story buildings and all. Guess who pays for them? You guys, the people living off credit did. All you're doing is making them rich. You're not being rich. You're paying interest on it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Them guys at FICO, man, they're just every year or two they're gonna come out with the new FICO model. You know, they sell the data to all them banks and lenders. That's how they make their money. They'll come at them and say, hey, we create a scoring model. So now car insurance companies think they're banks now. Yeah, your insurance rate's based off your credit score. Well, you know, 40 years ago, it was based off your driving record. Now it's everything. Driving record and credit score. They think that people with bad credit file more insurance claims. And I think it's the other way around. You know what I mean? It's crazy, but yeah. Yep. We're told to worship at the altar of the great FICO. You know, Experian Boost has that, but it only boosts your score up maybe at the most 13 or 15 points. And you got to give them your banking information. Not a debit card number, but your checking account and routing number, savings account and routing number. Now, if Experian had a data breach, your banking info goes with it, then it becomes your problem, not theirs. They're not held liable. You know what I mean? They're not held accountable for any data breaches. So I wouldn't even do that. I wouldn't even do that Experian boost. It's not even worth it. Just go up 13 points, 15 points, and they'll tell you a credit score means nothing. You can get denied with an 820 score. Trust me. The banks don't want to deal with you. They don't want to give you a 3 or 4% interest or 2% interest. They want John Doe with a 630 score, 640s. They can nail him with 19%, 20% interest. That's why I'm saying a credit score don't mean nothing. You can get denied. Okay, I had an 819 score one time. I applied for a Bank of America card. They denied me, and they told me on the phone when I called them. I said the email said Train Union score is 819. Why did I get denied? She said a credit score means don't have to do. The lady told me on the phone the credit score has nothing to do with the approval process. She said I had 2 hard inquiries on my report. That's why I got denied. 2 negative marks. 2 hard inquiries. Does that tell you anything? It's a joke. Now I don't. That was like years ago. I don't fool with it now. I paid everything off. I closed everything out, paid everything off, closed them out, froze everything 3 years ago. They sent me PIN numbers in the mail. Shredder, shredder, shredder. That's it. I'm done dealing with these people. Okay? The greed has just got me going nuts, man. These greedy and Equifax don't give a hoot about anything. None of them. And they're actually operating overseas. When you call them credit bureaus, they're not even America. They're like, oh no, we're not paying them any $15, $20 an hour. I'll send them overseas, pay them $2 an hour. That's how they do it. So, cheap labor, no insurance, no benefits. That Equifax building in Atlanta, Georgia is empty. The lower level CEOs and all them people stay there. When you call them, when you call the Equifax 800 number, they won't tell you where they're at, but they'll tell you they're offshore somewhere. They're not in America. That's another reason why your information is not safe. We shouldn't be calling them companies overseas, them asking for our information in another country. That's another reason why your information is not safe. Okay? There's no security there. Their main goal is profit, 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 profit. Okay? You are the profit. They don't care about you. When something happens to you, they throw you in the back burner, say you're a bad apple. We're not held accountable for data breaches. Okay? Sorry about your bad luck, they told me. So, and they refused to pay me any money because back when that started, it was $10 to put a security freeze on everything. I had to freeze even them small companies, okay? I had fake bill collectors call me. They were threatening to come to my house. I had people call me a couple weeks ago claiming to be Social Security. They had partial my identity information, and they were trying to get the rest of it. And I made a video on it. It's in my channel somewhere. I was on the phone with them for like almost 20 minutes. So, yeah, they had partial. They had an old address, and they knew my age. But they had the last 4 of my social. They didn't have the rest, okay? And they didn't know my birthday. They tried to get that, saying, they tried to tell me that I committed a crime somewhere in Texas and got in trouble for money laundering for like $3.8 million or something. A bunch of garbage, a stolen car. I said, dude, I never lived in Texas. I had them going for a while. They want to know how much money I had and everything. And the bank, how many credit cards I had. I just made up stuff. I was going along with them. Eventually that phone number was disconnected. Got in trouble being investigated, it said. But yeah, that was in India. The call was going out to India, California phone number. I called them on a weekend. You know, Social Security is not even open on a weekend, and they answer. No recording, no nothing. They answer, Social Security Administration. And you hear people in the background saying the same thing, answering phones. Social Security Administration. So yeah, information is not safe. The FICO is nothing but trash. The credit bureau is nothing but garbage. The whole situation. When you get older, you realize the whole thing is nothing but trash. I'm telling you, freeze them companies, get out of debt, and save your money. Man, especially these younger generations, man, they get in debt big time. Buying new cars and credit cards and $1,000 phones, $2,000 phones. Look at this, I got me an iPhone 15 or iPhone 12. $1,600, I'm paying $70 a month for 2 years. Crazy. On a phone? Are you nuts? Are you okay? You need psych help? Nuts. New car? Even crazier. People buy new cars, they're insane. Insane. Yep, 10-year. Now, you buy a car now, the payments are like $900, $1,000 a month on an SUV. You know what I mean? The car I got right here, paid 20 grand for it. You bought it new, it's $70,000. And the payments are like $777 a month. They're nuts. Buy it used. Wait 4 years. The price goes down way less than half. Buy new. Yeah, you buy new and the thing will be in the junkyard before it's paid off. Trust me. You got 4 years to go in payments for the cars in the junkyard and you're still paying on it. Learn the hard way. I hear it all the time from people. A little 30-year-old called me about a week ago, say, hey, I bought this new Kia about a month ago, 2020 Kia. It's falling apart. Can I take it back? I said, yeah, take it back, but I don't want to miss my credit. I said, screw that credit. Credit. Screw credit. Damn, man, they got people worshiping that credit stuff. All that is an IO debt score. I love debt score. And America's got trillions and trillions of credit card debt, student loan debt, mortgages. I don't know what people are thinking. And look at this pandemic. That should prove to people don't live off credit. People are losing their houses, repo their cars, can't pay their credit cards, can't pay their student loans. It messes your credit score up anyway. People that ain't working because of COVID-19, them creditors don't care, okay? When you're on the phone making that house payment, they'll tell you, we are a debt collector, okay? Get that. Listen, we are a debt collector. So they're a debt collector. It's not credit, it's debt, okay? I wish people get that in their head, okay? Trust me, okay? You guys have a good day.